president's health very seriously. They would never put him in a situation that would put him in harm's way.
And just one follow-up, please.
Yes.
On executive orders, the president has set a pretty brisk pace on those this year. And as a candidate, he had been critical of President Obama's use of executive orders. But he seems to have really stepped up the pace on these. And I wanted to ask, what does he find, what is the strategy behind issuing more than one a week so far this year? And I know he's getting ready to issue more in the coming weeks.
Well, he will use the powers in his executive toolkit to further the agenda of the American people. That's his intent with these executive orders. And I would just note that with regard to the DACA decision, the Supreme Court has suggested he has pretty wide discretion to act. Yes, Jeff.
Kaylee, with regard to the president's reference about the 99% being harmless, does the president worry at all that by downplaying the severity of the virus, that it will lead Americans to be less careful?
The president isn't downplaying the severity of the virus. What the president's noting is that at the height of this pandemic, we were at 2,500 deaths per day. We are now at a place where on July 4th, there were 254. That's a tenfold decrease in mortality. On July 5th, 209 individuals, down 23% from last Sunday and the lowest Sunday since March 28th. The president's made clear we grieve when just one life is lost, but he wants to note the progress that we've made in treating this very serious virus when we have therapeutics like convalescent plasma, remdesivir, dexamethasone. Convalescent plasma in particular was spearheaded by this administration. He's pulled down bureaucracy and allowed us to get to a place where we can have this declining mortality rate.
Just to follow up on the NASCAR thing, you were saying that we're taking the tweet out of context, but this is what he tweeted. He says, has Bubba Wallace apologized to all of those great NASCAR drivers and officials who came to his aid, stood by his side, and were willing to sacrifice everything for him, only to find out that the whole thing was just another hoax. That and flag decision has caused lowest ratings ever. How are we misinterpreting that?
I've explained to you, this is, I guess, the fourth attempt, but we'll try it again. In aggregate, what he was pointing out is this rush to judgment to immediately say that there is a hate crime, as happened in this case, as happened with Jussie Smollett, as happened with the Covington Catholic boys. And in aggregate, those actions made it seem like NASCAR men and women were racist individuals who were roving around and engaging in a hate crime. The president's intent was to say, no, most American people are good, hardworking people. I mean, we should not have this rush to judgment, knee-jerk reaction before the facts come out. The FBI did their job and determined there was no hate crime. Mario.
Hold on. Just the one thing that wasn't clear in your response, and that's why I asked about it again, and it follows up on Paula's